My spirit desires to roam. There I shall be.
Hey everyone, this is my very first Strinova guide, and today we're going to be talking about Galatea. She is my favorite agent in the game, and if not one of the most deceptive agents in the game. She is mainly built around strategy, positioning, and tricking enemies. And in this video I'll go over her abilities, the best upgrades, and awakenings, and some good tips to help you master her fast. Let's go ahead and get started. First up, we're going to talk about her abilities. Her Q, which is called a wild card, throws out a card that creates a decoy wherever it lands. You can press F to teleport to that decoy instantly, which makes it perfect for flanking, escapes, or even surprise attacks. Her C is the same thing as her wild card, but the only difference is that you cannot teleport to it. And if your opponents destroy this decoy, they will be blinded, essentially acting like a flashbang. And her ultimate skill, which is called Mirage, throws 3 cards in a triangular pattern, and each one spawns a decoy, and you could teleport to any of them, which lets you completely confuse the enemy or make a fast escape when you're in danger. And her passive, which is called Deception, spawns a decoy whenever she detaches from a wall, and if an enemy runs into that decoy's line of sight, they get revealed for a split moment, and this makes Galatea a great information agent and not just a trickster. So we're going to go ahead and look at the best loadout for her and the best upgrades to use, so we're going to go into the range.
The secrets behind magic.
Now let's go ahead and look at the best loadout for Galatea. Her primary is an assault rifle called the Gambit. It is a very versatile and compact assault rifle that is very useful for all ranges. And pairing this with the right upgrades makes it very overpowered. And the recoil pattern is very difficult to master at first, but after practicing you'll be able to master her recoil pattern, and this goes for every character. And for her secondary, the Athena pistol is your best bet, mainly because it is reliable, accurate, and it gives you a solid backup when your rifle runs dry. Specifically, when your AR is out of ammo, or when you're reloading, or in a gunfight and you can't shoot anymore. For her secondary, your best bet would be the Athena pistol, which is the Deagle. It's reliable, accurate, and it gives you a solid backup when you run out of ammo or you're reloading mid-fight. You could also choose the Ignis, Ember Spit, Stinger, or Ninjato, but personally, the best pick would be the Athena. And for tactical gear, I sometimes recommend a smoke grenade paired with a flashbang, mainly because you could throw the smoke to where you plan on teleporting to, and when you teleport inside the smoke, you could throw a flashbang if you see enemies. And this pretty much needs a lot of strategy because you need teammates that will help you execute this exact plan. You need to be able to see through the smoke, and just a bunch of external factors that you need to have coordination with your team about. And for the sake of the video, I'm going to use Blinding Shadow and just a healing grenade. And as for upgrades, we're going to go ahead and look into that.
So only to you and me.
So now for her upgrades. Personally, I would choose base rate of fire, stringified damage, reload speed, spread control, stringified movement speed, heavy armor, decoy duration for deception, and for her wild card, a cooldown of 5 seconds or less. Now let's go ahead and look at her awakenings. So awakening 1, you could activate this immediately after the second round if you upgrade any of these 4, the firing, critical hit, capacity, or accuracy, and either armor or stringification. And it is very useful because it gains temporary armor when you teleport, and also a brief boost for your weapon. So when you teleport to either your Q, your ultimate, or pretty much your passive, you will end up with a temporary boost of armor. And her second awakening is unlocked when you unlock, of course, one of the left upgrades, 2 of the skill upgrades, and either one of the stringification or armor upgrades. And it is mainly invisibility. So if you teleport to either your Q or your ultimate or your passive, you will end up with a 3-second invisibility with gained movement speed, but the only con is that you cannot use your weapon. So let's go ahead and look at the second awakening and what I mean by that. So let's say I teleport to there. I cannot use my weapon, but I'm invisible for 3 seconds. But personally, I wouldn't recommend using the second awakening unless you have a plan with your team and you have a general idea of what you're going to be doing. And for the third awakening, I enjoy using it because it is simply the best awakening you could choose. If you use your Q, let's throw it again to that wall. If I teleport, I end up leaving a decoy back at my original position, which is very useful if you want to teleport across the map and leave a decoy so your enemies attack it. That'll be the best course of action. So, let's go ahead and look at the gun's recoil pattern. So we see that it jumps up a lot, which is something that we of course need to control. But if we're going to go ahead and talk about the gun, we also need to look at the damage from 10 meters of range. And the best option would be simply to use hip fire or shoulder fire from this range.
The curtain rises on deadly men. You are all now part of the...
Maybe ADS, but of course it's mainly more or less just learning how to use shoulder fire at a decent range.
The stage is
and from 30 meters, what I would say the best is to simply treat the air as a burst, and also for more than 50 meters. So we see that overall the gun at firing does decent, but it could do better, of course. That's why if you learn the recoil control, then you can pretty much master shooting your opponents from far range with decent accuracy. So let's just enable unlimited active skill. So if we use a Q, we can stick to that wall and overall just pretty much learn how to throw a Q. Because there's people that, sometimes like me as well, I miss my card and do this mistake. And sometimes I practice as Galatea to throw my card, peek, and then hide back. And I just pretty much do that whenever I'm playing custom solos or on the range. I just practice throws. And for your C, it is simply the same thing as the wild card, but you cannot teleport to it. As we see that it's just there and we can't teleport to it. And if any enemy were to shoot at it and destroy it, they would get blinded for a few seconds. So now the ultimate. So we see that here, the ultimate has 3 cards. And if we throw all 3 cards, we're going to throw them in a triangular pattern, like so. So we see that one is on my right, one is far ahead, and the other one is on my left. And we could teleport to all 3 of these, which is very useful when it comes to type positions in gunfights. So overall, that's the best tip I could give for Galatea. And the second tip would be to not teleport immediately. Don't make the mistake of teleporting to your card immediately, because that also gives your opponent a chance to shoot at your decoy. Because let's say you throw it right there, and the opponent's behind this wall. They're going to shoot at it, and if you teleport to it, that person's right there shooting at you, you're already dead. So don't teleport immediately. You should use your card more or less as a scan.
Over there.
And the other tip that I will give is, for your ultimate, you never want to have your ultimate used like this. Because they're all bunched up together, and let's say that is the opponent, and they're shooting at you, you could teleport, but then they're going to start shooting your other clones. Which is not going to be a very good position for you or anyone playing as Gala. And for the ultimate, you always want your clones to be spaced out.
Abundance of choices can also be a burden.
Because these decoys will always save you in case of a gunfight that you're going to lose.
It's only natural for a magician to fly.
And the final tip that I will give will be pretty much be unpredictable. Because if you're unpredictable, no one's going to know where you're going to go, what you're going to plan, and how you're going to play. So, for example, if we're playing a game of demolition, you don't want to always, let's say we start here. You don't always want to peek and throw a card. Because you do that for consecutive rounds, they're going to get the hang of it, and they're going to simply manage to get a few shots off of you. What I would say, try to keep the playstyle different. For example, like I could throw a card here.
Over there.
I could throw it from here. Put it from around here. I can throw it up there. And so on. So overall, you should be unpredictable, and also practice throwing the card.
Head over there.
So kind of just do exercises like these. Just jump and jump back. And practice. And don't try to get it stuck on a wall like this. These are mistakes that you could make and you might make as a beginner. So, overall, as we see that we have all these upgrades, and it's very useful to know what upgrades we should use. So let's go ahead and talk about the passive skill, which is Deception. So when we stick onto a wall, and we stick from the wall, we will end up leaving a decoy, which we could pretty much throw cards, and we will also get the stick to the wall as well. And of course, every time we jump out of a wall, we leave a decoy. And so on. That is pretty much like Galatea's passive.
It's only natural for a magician to fly.
So it's always good to practice using pretty much all of Galatea's skills, because they are very crucial to her character. And
head over there.
to summarize pretty much what everything that I talked about was pretty much just simply master how to use a Q, keep your ultimate spaced out, use your C as a decoy when you're going to attack, and it serves as a flashbang. And also hit fire from close range, shoulder fire as well from medium to close range.
The curtain rises. You are all
So on.
now part of the spectacle.
So yeah, we're going to go ahead and look at a few games that a game that I played. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and look at a game that I played, and we will see how I play Gala in just one game. So we kind of see like the general idea of how you would expect the game with Gala. I'll see you there. So practically in this first round, I decided to go ahead and push for my team. And I throw my Q to the wall.
Head over there.
And I stick to that wall just in case. So as you see that I push, I make sure that I don't get damaged or hurt
It's
pretty
only
much.
natural for a magician to fly, isn't it?
And since we have our Meredith using her ult, I can go ahead and push. So just notice how I'm mainly hip firing, not really aiming in. And of course my card placement was there. As I said earlier, that is mistakes that you might make. And here I push this Michelle, and then I end up winning this 1v1.
The curtain rises.
And of course I didn't have my card, my decoy at the wall, so I couldn't. So of course I freaked out a bit, and luckily that time we got her. And the next round, right?
Bomb carrier and
We
destroy
all
the
push
target.
mid. And here I'll figure out where to put my card, but it doesn't really work out that angle, so I try to find a better angle. And I made a mistake right there, right? Pretty much just staying still while throwing my decoy. So I'm getting shot from behind, and I throw another decoy. And if she uses her ult, I am almost dead. I mean, this Meredith are almost dead. But I tend to go finish, just in case. And then there we go, I drop that coconut, and that pretty much where this clip ends.
Over there.
One enemy remaining.
So the other one was pretty much very aggressive on the team's behalf. And here, as I noticed Michelle's going up, I decided to turn around and just glide away. And as I noticed that someone started to defuse, I throw my card and move Coco to at least try to knock. Which finally takes that snipe. Which was very helpful since we ended up winning that round. So now on to the next round. I'm over here pushing on left again. And I throw my card, and since I have my third awakening, I don't stick onto the wall. And I decided to shoot that protector. And here I start shooting that Flavia, which that Flavia runs out the way, but I decided to stick onto the wall just in case. And I started damaging that shield a little bit. And I throw my C just in case. And I damage a bit again. And I stick back onto the wall just in case. And I throw my Q over there. And then Michelle started attacking, so I pulled back. And here I noticed there was a lot of gunfight, and I don't know why I didn't kill that coconut, but I somehow didn't. So then I just had to retreat again because there was smoke. And so I noticed my team from behind is over here fighting a 1v2. I decided to just leave the spot. And I throw my car, and that coconut almost hits me with the snipe. And that Chio, I stopped shooting and reloading shortly. So now it's just over 2v5, which I helped that Ming drop that Michelle. And I teleported away because of the damage I took. And that Chio again, I missed all my shots. And I hear someone from behind, and I throw that Q. And I try to knock someone before they get behind me, but it was far too late. Which is what is shown here.
A new accident. Be quiet.
But we move on to the next round. You see that I throw my Q all the way to the far back, and then Mertha uses the sandstorm. So here I decide to push in. And since I noticed that no one is in the back, I decided to push from the side and flank. And I noticed that Michelle's there, so I started attacking her. And since I'm out of ammo, I use my deagle to knock.
In zone A.
And that Chio tries to revive. But luckily I threw my card out. And I got stuck on this little thing. And here I noticed that someone on the left is reviving. And then I see that someone's being revived, so I finish. And so that's kind of like the first thing you should do. And that confidence was terrible, but I ended up doing that Chio somehow. But overall, like, the whole idea is that I was using my environment to my advantage. And in this round, I decided to push in. But since I have a decoy there, I decided to push back. Because if I stood outside, what happened to that Chio would have happened to me. So now I see that that's what you're trying to push, and I welcome the push, but I slowly hear that they're starting to walk away, so I don't push. And since my team is revived, I decided to go flank the middle. And then I meet up with my team exactly in that little pathway. So we go through that little box, and then I knocked out Louine for Chio. And then I hope that coconut knock. And then now pretty much here, I'm fighting with my teammate, attacking this Fusha, and now I see that he's fighting the Meredith over there, so I decide to Q there. And I push just in case, and I ended up getting that knock. And since I see on the map there's someone on the far left of the map, I see that it's just a sniper, which I decided to push the economy. And the economy just go from behind, so then I pretty much rotate around again. And then she's already expecting me, so I decided to just finish. I played with strategy instead of just pushing in head on.
Narrow victory.
So, as we saw in the previous game that I showed where I was playing, we saw how to generally get a general idea of how to play Galatea. So overall, like, Galatea is a character that you actually have to put effort into mastering. Mainly because she's very versatile and aggressive, and also very defensive. So she's in between. Basically, overall, she's a jack of all trades. And if you learn how to master Galatea, then you'll basically be unstoppable. And if this guide helped, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be making guides for every single agent in Strinova, so let me know in the comments which one you want me to cover next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.